I'm one of those kids that grew up with Call of Duty campaigns. The names Soap, Reznov and Mason are just engraved in my mind at this point, alongside the missions. The multiple choices of Black Ops 2, the over-the-top campaign missions like the prison escape in Black Ops 1, and that one mission in Modern Warfare 2 where you stealth through an entire airfield. But despite playing Call of Duty a lot and growing up with this franchise alongside other games of course, there was one game mode I never played up until very recently. I eventually lost interest in the Call of Duty franchise and began playing other games. I played AAA games like Halo and Dark Souls, and indie games like Hollow Knight and Terraria. But then, one day, if I remember correctly, I was listening to some video game music. This popped into my recommended. Shino Numa song, The One, Alina Sigmund, lyrics official. So I listened to it and... man, this song is like really good. I wonder what game it's from though. Oh, you've gotta be shitting me. So turns out, Call of Duty actually has a lot of really good metal songs that aren't in the campaign. I looked up Shino Numa Call of Duty on Google, and yes, it is apparently a map from the only game mode I didn't play. Zombies. After remembering that this was a thing, I began playing zombies on and off. Sometimes my cousin would come over to my house and I would be like, hey, wanna play Town on the 360? And we would play Town. And only Town. Not Transit. No, not Transit. Then, very recently, I had the sudden urge to play zombies again, but solo this time. So I checked out the Steam page of Black Ops 1 since I already had Black Ops 2, and wait, is that a discount? To my viewers who don't know what this currency is, 4950 TL is worth 1.8 American dollars. Yes. So I bought Black Ops 1 since I had a lot of money in my Steam wallet because I had recently refunded a big game. Then I looked at Black Ops 3 and is that another discount? I bought Black Ops 3 too, and now I had all of the Black Ops games available on Steam in my library. After buying these two, I immediately downloaded them and began playing, where I immediately remembered how good the gameplay loop of Zombies was and still is. Now sure, the maps are important because without this, you wouldn't have this. But maps really don't matter if your gameplay is shit, and thankfully this isn't the case. Hell, the gameplay of Zombies is extremely entertaining, and one of the reasons why the title of this video is something praising CoD Zombies. Like I've said, the gameplay of Zombies is a loop, just like the story, but I'll get to that later. It is made in a way so you can play the same map 10 times in a row without getting bored. One simple way to do this is RNG, and that is what CoD Zombies does via the mystery box. In a game of zombies, you can only get so far by using wall weapons. Even if you upgrade your wallboat weapons, is it really fun? You know what's even more fun? Gambling. Now you can either get weapons like the ray gun by knifing all corners and dolphin diving into the box, or get the Shiva in Black Ops 3. Honestly, I don't really enjoy grinding in video games, but grinding for a wonder weapon by repeatedly opening the box is extremely fun, especially when you kill that one zombie and a new round starts while you're in a not so safe place. Remember how I said upgrading weapons? Well, that is where the Pack-a-Punch machine comes in. This machine is what makes surviving past round 20 actually fun and not a chore. The Pack-a-Punch machine turns your normal weapons into the peak of German laser engineering. And since Zombies was released at a time where innovation was a thing in the AAA gaming industry, the Pack-a-Punch machine got a big upgrade in Black Ops 3. In this game you can upgrade your weapon a second time to get a Pack-a-Punch perk for your weapon. Deadwire, my beloved. Wait, what is that? To make the game feel even more arcadey, there are power-ups. These power-ups have a chance of dropping from zombies when you kill them. All of these power-ups are really useful depending on how you use them. There are of course power-ups that are good no matter where and when you use them, like max ammo, zombie blood and bonus points. But then there are power-ups that just don't work or don't work as well depending on when you use them. Using double points, nuke or death machine at the end of a round or near the end of a round can either start a round when you don't want to or just make the power-up go entirely to waste. But all of this doesn't do anything if you can't survive, and that's where Perca-Colas come in. I just love this, the drinking animation, the unique perks like Widow's Wine, and of course, the jingles. Without perks like Juggernog, it is nearly impossible to survive in higher rounds unless you somehow manage to go fully no hit. Somehow. The final major part of Zombies gameplay are, of course, the rounds. This round-based system is what makes this mode extremely unique because there are only a few games with a horde mode. The only game franchise that comes to my mind apart from Call of Duty is Halo with its firefight mode. In Zombies, since you really can't change areas like in roguelikes, the difficulty is determined by rounds. Every round you finish it slowly gets harder and harder until you can't survive without perks and until it is incredibly hard to kill zombies without PAP, which apparently stands for Pack-a-Punch. I'm learning new things from the zombies community day by day. For example, while making this video, I completed my first Easter egg step by building and upgrading the fire staff in Origins. Reasons you should play Origins with me. Number 1. I will get the fire staff. Thanks for listening. Oh, and speaking of Origins, the maps of Zombies is what makes the game mode truly amazing, incredible, hold on I'm pulling up the thesaurus, marvelous, shocking. There are classics and less complicated maps such as Nacht der Toten, Der Riese and Kino. More complicated maps from Black Ops 2 like Origins, Mob of the Dead and Buried. And finally really good maps from Black Ops 3 and 4 like Shadows of Evil, the remakes of old maps, Blood of the Dead and... Fine, I'll talk about Transit. I had heard people complaining about Transit long before I decided to play every map I owned. So here I want to give an unbiased opinion as a new player. Is Transit good? No, it isn't. Transit has many problems such as it's too big and too ambitious, the denizens, the Easter egg, and I've heard people complaining about the wonder weapon, but I couldn't manage to build it before getting bored, so I won't comment on that. But Transit gave us one of the best survival maps ever. Town. Pack-a-Punch is in the middle, it's a small map with Coca-Colas and its level design is pretty good. But Town is not my favorite map since that honor would go to Origins. Origins has so many great things going for it. It has a large and expansive map that is simple to memorize. Hell, I memorized the whole map after playing it one time. This large and expansive map also allows Origins to get real creative, using 6 different generators to activate the power instead of just one switch. And these generators can get attacked by zombies and shut off anytime after round 10. The map just has so much depth. It has different and unique zombie types such as the Panzer and the Templar. Another map with a lot of depth is from the same game. Mob of the Dead is truly a one-of-a-kind map. Forget its narrow hallways, its aesthetic is what I like most about it. To anyone who doesn't know, Mob of the Dead takes place in a time loop that has happened hundreds of times. So because of this you can see these glitches in reality in the game. The Coca-Cola machines turn black and white for no reason, before switching back in an instant. There is also the afterlife mechanic, which only shows up in Mob and no other map. Every time you interact with these afterlife boxes or die, you enter this Emperor Palpatine form. From here you can shock boxes to unlock doors and Coca-Colas. And for the Easter egg you have to build a plane and escape Alcatraz, but I haven't done it because you need 2 people. These Easter eggs are easily one of the most interesting things about zombies. It is also what drew me into playing zombies in the first place. There are 2 types of Easter eggs, musical and the ones I like to call story. Musical Easter eggs are usually activated by interacting with a certain object 3 times or finding 3 of that object throughout the map. For example, in Kino der Toten, interacting with 3 meteorite shards will reward you with the song 115. As I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, this side mode has its own unique songs and they are surprisingly really good. Kevin Sherwood's guitar is just amazing, take a listen. This man's guitar is also assisted by the voices of people such as Alina Sigmund, Clark S. Nova and Maluka. Seriously, all of these people can sing really well. Also, if you listen to some of the songs carefully, you notice that they are talking about the characters. Just listen to this part from the Der Eisendrache Easter egg song, Dead Again, sung by Alina Sigmund. I'll talk about this more when I talk about the overall story, but throughout Black Ops 3, Richtopen's main objective is to make a better future for himself and others. This is what the line, "we only want to live forever" refers to. Then the line, "repeat serial suicide" is about how the Origins crew is hunting down and killing the OG crew, so essentially killing themselves. Finally, the last line, "you can't find you and hide" is not very meaningful for a reason. "You can't find you" is yet another nod as to how the Origins crew is killing the original crew. I just want to give another example from a map I already talked about, that being the song "Where Are We Going" from Mob of the Dead, sung by Maluka. I don't feel the need to go lyric by lyric for this one because the whole song is essentially from the point of view of the characters, with them pondering about what will happen if they break the cycle. This is why "Where Are We Going" is repeated so many times. The musical Easter eggs are pretty simple. The story Easter eggs, on the other hand, are a lot more complicated. Instead of interacting with objects 3 times, you instead have to follow a very convoluted and hard set of instructions like shooting or blowing up specific things, using wonder weapons on weird objects, or just interacting with random items to pick them up. Some of these items also don't display the "press F to pick up" text on screen, so it makes it even harder. The reason why I call these Easter eggs story Easter eggs is because completing them usually rewards you with a cutscene. Completing the Easter eggs of maps like Zetsubo no Shima, Der Eisendra, Origins, Gorod Krovi, and Revelations reward you with a cutscene. And on some maps like Zetsubo, the game doesn't end after the cutscene, in which case you get every perk. I've been unable to do any of these Easter eggs though, so this is just me speaking through knowledge instead of experience. I can't gather enough people to do these Easter eggs. I can only talk about the story. The story is probably the most ignored and underappreciated part of Zombies. Many people play Zombies for the gameplay, but I play it for the plot, because Zombies easily has the most unhinged, absurd and complex story I've ever seen. The story in World at War and Black Ops 1 is just a story about Germans making advanced technology like teleporting from an element called 115, and they accidentally create supernatural zombies that can be controlled by a pyramid on the moon. The daughter of one of these scientists then ends up in control of the zombies and uses it to attack Richtofen and his crew made up of American stereotype Dempsey, the Russian stereotype Nikolai, and the Japanese stereotype Takeo. This crew is called Ultimus. These 4 time travel, I guess, to different locations and finally end up on the moon. Richtofen gets in control of the zombies and they blow up Earth. That's World at War and Black Ops 1 for you. Black Ops 2 introduces the Victus crew. These guys just do stuff to enhance Richtofen's power. They really don't matter much. In Origins, however, we see an alternate dimension where Richtofen isn't a crazy scientist but rather a chill dude. The different versions of the same characters meet here, and that's Black Ops 2. Now, Black Ops 3. I'm going to be honest, I can't really describe Black Ops 3 because the story goes from technology with some supernatural elements to Lovecraftian monsters control everything behind the scenes, and oh, everything is at a time loop. This is what I meant by unhinged and complex. It's over the top, but I've seen a lot of people saying that they don't really like the story after Black Ops 3, but I just love it. Besides the over the top stuff, it actually gives a lot of depth to characters when they have to kill their alternate selves to break the loop, and to secure a better future, which is Richtofen's main objective. If the story was poorly written, then the Black Ops 4 Blood of the Dead trailer wouldn't have gotten people feeling sympathy for the characters. If a single trailer and the cutscene of Blood of the Dead manages to make a person who is new to the franchise like me feel bad for the characters, then the developers have done something right. Overall, I think that CoD Zombies' story gets a solid 8 out of 10 from me. I know many people didn't like the ending, but my unbiased opinion is that it's pretty good and it was already foreshadowed a long time before it actually happened. I don't know how some people didn't notice this, but think about the only other map that exists in a time loop before the whole Black Ops 3 thing. Mob of the Dead. And what sentence is seen multiple times in Mob of the Dead? No one escapes alive. And that's it for my CoD Zombies sort of review, I guess. I'll definitely be playing Zombies more after I publish this video because I recently started playing every single map and I've already settled on the ones I love. Those being Der Riese, Origins and Buried. I, of course, also have a few complaints that I couldn't fit into the video, so I'll just say them here. Complicated Easter eggs are really cool and I love them, but they could tone it down a little. Black Ops 4 sells all DLCs in a bundle instead of letting me individually purchase them, like every other game ever, so I couldn't play Tag der Toten, but it is more so a complaint of corporate greed, not zombies. And finally, Ultimus Takeo. And that's it. That's truly it. Those are all of my complaints. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. This video took me an incredibly long time to make. Goodbye.